Last time on Wanderlust.
Well, I think we have a diversity of deterrents here. We have fire, we have our sprays of 3 different types, and
I think at this point we all have weapons.
we have weapons, and we have hopefully a more mist dispersal from Fred. Is that something you can do, Fred?
Yeah, I can try to build something like that.
Is there a way we could travel by the river?
Yeah, and I think we'd be able to take it halfway. We'd be able to take it into the mountains, and then we'd have to get out and walk. We're headed out to eradicate the mushrooms you've seen. Try to stay away from them, and definitely don't eat any. We're not sure when we'll be back. We're leaving on date. And if I'm not back for a long time, just know that wherever I am, I will do everything that I can to find a way back in the end.
I have a favor to ask you,
Sure.
and you're gonna not like this, I think, maybe.
Are we checking in on Lance's town? We're gonna be hiking a long way, but we're taking a boat part of it.
Ooh, now that means that, look, this is a very nice radio that can definitely reach me and definitely reach Lance. You can have it. I built it. Try not to break it or lose it.
Alright, so you got a visit from something else that's sentient here.
They appear to be in a northeasterly direction from our town. This is not me trying to figure out where your town is. I just want you to be aware in case you are between us and them if they start attacking your town.
You hear, like, the click of Lance pushing the button, and then you hear another voice come over the radio,
Sir, she got out.
and then you just hear Lance just go,
We'll talk later.
You stare at this kind of, like, shallow river rushing over these rocks and getting sucked down into them, and you hear these beautiful song, and all of you kind of feel your grip slightly loosen on those poles, and your minds start to kind of drift. Kicking us off, I just need all of you to make some kind of, like, mental resistance check to this song or this singing that you hear.
It would help if I actually had, like, stuff open.
Reasonable?
I'll take reasonable, probably because I don't know if you've ever rolled reasonable before.
I don't think I have anything better. I have, like, notice, investigate, research.
Reasonable. Reasonable's good enough.
Can I make a call of case for lore?
No, not even a little bit.
I could know about sirens.
You could, but these aren't sirens, so no.
Danger sense?
No, I don't think I'm taking danger sense either.
Can I do persistent? That's like resisting it. I feel like persistent...
I'll give you persistent.
I mean, you're giving me a +1 or a 0. Like,
Yeah.
What do you want me to roll? Do you want me to roll a 0 or a 1?
So this is where it benefits me that I have the vague ones the book mentions. I'm using will, and that's like that's what this is for.
Yep.
I'm gonna do composed then, Cody.
That composed definitely works, yeah.
See, is this the right way around?
I don't know what that means.
-1.
Oh.
Or is it that?
Vinny's
the
right.
the second way you did it.
That way?
That way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna have everyone say their roll out loud because this is a podcast. So,
Hey, I have a camera for the first time in a long time. Let me use it.
starting with Juliet, what'd you roll?
4.
Estelle, I know your name. What'd you roll?
-1.
Autumn, how about you?
A 1.
Okay, and Fred.
I also mathed wrong. That's a -2.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I rolled 3 negatives, and I only have a +1 in that skill, so...
Fred, Autumn, and Estelle, you're all standing over the edge, kind of like looking down into this water rushing in. And it's sort of odd to look at because there is enough water pouring over it that it's not all getting sucked down through cracks in these rocks. And it's not like tiny spaces. So it is sort of like a mesmerizing thing to stare at. Like if you ever look at the kind of fractal pattern of water pouring through rocks, it can really drag your eyes into it. This is a large river, and this area and this song are so mesmerizing to you. You're just staring at it, and then you just keep getting closer and closer. You feel this cool water pouring over you as you slip down between the rocks. Meanwhile...
The whole boat?
No. Estelle, Autumn, and Fred. Juliet, you stand on the boat and you hear this kind of interesting song. You're like, that's pretty. And then 3 people jump off your boat into the water.
No! No! Frick! I grab a, is the boat getting, like, sucked in? Or, like, what is it doing?
Yeah, the boat doesn't, like, fit through the rocks, though. So you're probably, like, up on rocks at this point, like, bumping into them.
It's, like, braced, and they, like, jumped in.
Yeah.
Are they, like, is it, like, deep enough they're, like, swimming down? Or they're, like, wading?
They, like, got sucked into the rocks.
Okay.
Like, through. Like, as if they slipped through a storm drain, you know?
Okay, I'm grabbing a one of the 10-foot poles used to like push the boat, and I'm gonna jump in.
Are you trying to swim down into the rocks?
I'm like jumping down into the rocks and then like sticking the pole down to see if I can like nudge them, and then they can grab onto it. You know what I mean?
She's trying to hit us with the oar and then pull us up.
I understand what you're getting at.
Is there not like a big enough hole in the rocks?
No, it's the opposite problem. There's plenty big enough holes for your body to fit into.
Oh, okay.
They're not like trapped in the rocks. They went through holes in the rocks.
Okay. Can I stick the oar into a hole?
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes in.
I wiggle it around.
You're just kind of, you know.
I will attach it to the boat so it's hanging off the side, and then I'll jump in after them.
Okay. Oh, so you're like tying off the boat to the... Okay. Are you trying to take the stick with you just down into the, under?
No, because I don't think I'll be able to, like, maneuver very well with it, but I want the stick sticking over the side so, like, you can grab onto it. It's, like, hanging off the edge of the boat. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So it's easy to grab onto. It's easier to locate where the boat is because this thing is sticking into the water. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So, meanwhile, the 3 of you all sink down between these rocks, and then there's a minute where you kind of have like a sense of vertigo as you fall, right? And then there's a splash as you like hit what is basically now an underground river that's running a slightly different direction to the river you were just in. So like the water pours through an opening in the river here down to a lower area where the water is flowing from this point. The cave is initially dark, so it's immediately pitch black, and you're surrounded by the sounds of this unearthly kind of humming sound. And then you start kind of feeling, and again, this is enticing to you at this point, right? This feels inviting, and you can feel like kind of soft paws tickling at your legs or your arms as they're in the water, and then the water around you kind of starts to lap and bubble, and then there's a faint glow as these somewhat luminous looking kind of like big ferrets with large flat tails, something between a ferret and a beaver, surface around you. They have cute little faces, like, bigger than a ferret.
Like otters?
Yeah, but narrower and longer and not as chunky, They're quite long, but thin. Small little ferrety faces, surface pointing their little noses at you, and you can see that the sound is coming from, like, on their, like, shoulders. There's, like, another organ that kind of, like, opens and closes, and you can see is almost like a second set of windpipes that make this kind of like air rushing through a cavern whistling noise. These things pop around you and start, skipping and hopping, They're nuzzling at you and sort of like playfully nipping at you, but creating this like comforting glow. And immediately that trust in your head moves to like a need. These things need your help and are kind of requesting it, almost like they're somehow managing to communicate with you in this weird song.
Are they leading us anywhere, or?
Yeah, they're kind of like skipping away and then turning back and tugging at your hands and feet and stuff.
I think if we're enticed, I mean, Estelle is gonna follow them.
Yeah.
Have I caught up to them yet or no?
No. So this would all happen pretty quick, right?
Okay.
So like they had a head start on you.
Yes.
So as you start following them down, the river is maybe waist height as they start, tugging you away. The direction of the river, it's sort of counterintuitive. So it's going in the same general direction as you were going, but it is downriver because the slope is down, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so we're still going north or northeast.
Yeah, it's like a switchback. Yeah. And yeah, it's just sort of like this pleasant experience as these things are hopping and nipping at you and having fun, leading you down and down and down. And somewhere in your heads, kind of far off, you hear a faint plop sound. As back up by where the river feeds this little tunnel, Juliet, you plop down into the water. It's very dark, and far off you hear that weird sound of like this whistling through the cave singing, and can see like a faint glow far off.
I guess I try to swim to the glow.
Alright, so you start paddling your way after them. Do you want to do this secretly, or are you calling for your friends?
I'm probably calling for them unless I'm like totally underwater and can't speak.
Okay, I need the three of you to make me a, like, waken up check, This could be a similar one as you hear shouting coming from behind you of a voice that you recognize.
Yeah, I guess Will again.
That'd be fine, yeah.
I don't think I really have anything for this.
That's fine.
Because empathy does not feel right.
No, that would not be right there.
Perception, maybe, if you wanted to count that, but I'm fine if that doesn't.
No. Well, actually, perception I think would be okay in this case. Because it's like something signaling you. I'll take perception.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't feeling good either way, so...
Yeah.
Danger sense for me, or stick with composed?
In this case, I will give you danger sense for a different reason.
I got a 0.
Got a 2.
I also got a 0.
Okay, so Fred, you kind of start like hanging back a little bit as you hear this voice calling to you. There isn't anything that strikes you as immediately dangerous, but you're like, why are we in this cave? Like, we were doing something else, and I feel like I hear maybe Juliet calling back to me, but there's still just like cute river ferrets jumping and playing with you and stuff, and that's nice. And then, Fred, you kind of watch as you hit this area where the cave like expands out to what is basically an underground lake. And all these river otters, or river ferrets, as I'm calling them, are glowing brighter, and this whole area seems to be glowing somewhat luminously. And a few things start to occur to you. One, these are small, and you're starting to see larger ones. And two, the personality of these things is that of like puppies. Like, these remind you of puppies. And they're roughly, like, you would guess one of these things might weigh 30 pounds.
Okay. Do I see Autumn and Estelle still kind of moving? Or, like, am I aware enough to notice? Okay.
Yeah. No, you definitely see them moving. You don't, like, have an immediate, necessarily huge sense of dread, but you're like, there's starting to be bigger ones of these. They're playing like they're puppies. And then there's, like, a very deep lake up in front of you.
How close are the air quotes puppies to me?
Oh, they're like playing with you still, right? So they're jumping, nipping at you,
I want pet one.
Okay, so you reach down and pet one, and it bites your hand really hard.
Okay. Do I take any stress for that?
No, not yet, but, it's like, ow.
Like, okay. Now the thing is it the type of bite that puppies do when they don't know their own strength, or was it trying to hurt me?
Well, I'm gonna let you decide that.
Can I roll an insight for that?
Sure. You can roll some insight.
It's a 3.
You're trying to decide whether, like, is this playing? And then you feel, like, another bite on your ankle and then another bite on your arm. And you're like, ow, ow. And then you realize there's a lot of these things. And then you look out and you just see Estelle and Autumn both just disappear into the water.
Oh, Fred's gonna try to dive in after them.
So you dive in, the water is glowing, and you see there are ferrets in there that are large manatee-sized. You know, like, think walrus-sized now. These things are very long. They're no longer, like, narrow, little, slender, cute things. They have, like, long, wolfish faces. Those organs are, like, deafeningly loud underwater that are making this weird piping sound, and even though you're kind of snapping out of it, you can feel it. Like, that's even making your, like, focus slip. And you see that, like, they have fairly dexterous hands, you know, like an otter or ferret or like a raccoon. And they've, like, grabbed Estelle and are dragging her down, and Autumn, same way, like, adolescent-sized ones. Meanwhile, Estelle and Autumn, you, like, come to basically, like, underwater, like, as things are dragging you down.
Can I try to kick them off me and swim up?
You certainly can.
It's a 7.
Okay, yeah, so you kick one really hard and you manage to, like, swim up. They're still, like, grabbing hands at you, though. Estelle, what are you feeling like?
Sorry, I feel like sometimes I am like, I am dealing with animals. I should know what you can do to try to, like...
Oh, yeah, I get you.
Work with this. So I was quickly pulling up something that might potentially help. Okay, in relation for this animal, like, are we talking the arms are like T-Rex arms? Or, like, are we like, are they like ours where it's like you're grabbing something and it's still pretty close to your face if you're, like, pulling down? Like, what's the...
Oh, you know what, the right description, I wasn't thinking of this, but this is what I'm thinking of. They're about the, like, proportions of, like, a Chinese dragon. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
like, fairly long, snaky body, but front legs and back legs that are not proportionately large to their body, but to their heads.
Okay, yeah, but that would mean, like, head, long neck, arms, long body, legs, tail?
A little bit less of a long neck, but yeah.
Okay, so not as long of a neck. Would you say that we're pretty close to its face, or?
Yeah, it's its front legs have you, so it's closer to its face.
Okay, the first thing I want to try to do is jam its eyes.
Okay.
And, would you say CrossFit or animal handling?
I will let you pick, and the effect will be different depending on how you do this.
I mean, I would love that extra number, so I'm going to go with animal handling.
That's fine.
+6.
Okay, so you jam its eyes and you hear it kind of like yip and swim away from you, and the music coming from it changes, and a lot of these things start swimming away from you, right? And you surface, right? You see Autumn over to your other side. Fred, you were kind of getting mobbed by these littler ones. They've now swam away and are kind of, like, leaving you alone after that really loud, like, warning sound went out after Estelle jammed the one in the eyes. I'll say at this point, Juliet, you kind of catch up to Fred, so you see Autumn and Estelle kind of treading water, Fred in the cave, and then far off on the other side of this, like, underground lake, you just see kind of a ripple, and then water starts kind of, like, pushing, like, mounding up, like something swimming towards you. You can see, like, a large body in the water snaking its way towards you.
So we're all above the surface now?
Yeah.
Of the surface of the water.
Yes.
Yeah. Of the underground water. Yeah.
Yes.
We're not underwater, is what I was getting at.
Right. I just want to make sure you didn't think we were outside again.
Nope. I think we might want to get out of here. This didn't look too good.
Swim this way.
Yeah, because I assume Autumn and Estelle are, like you said, treading water. So yeah, Estelle will start swimming.
I follow, obviously.
So as you start trying to like struggle your way back up, you're fighting against a water current. You know, the water's maybe chest height and it's getting shallower as you go, but it is pretty deep here. You could actually feel a lot of these things swimming away from you as you kind of like glance behind yourself and see that head like break out of the surface of the water. And this thing is big. Like the head itself is very like a little bit bigger than a large wolf's head, right? There's sharp teeth, furious eyes. Its fur is this sort of like pale blue color as it's rocketing towards you, and you realize this thing is faster than us. There is zero chance of us beating this thing in the water, right? Like you're in a river sloshing your way up. That's the fastest you can go. This thing's faster than us for sure.
Are we on land of some kind?
You're like going up. So imagine a tunnel that's got water pouring down it that is at this point maybe just below chest height, and you're sort of sloshing your way back up.
We're basically trying to climb up a water slide.
Yes, that would be right. Yeah.
Are there any... How wide is the cave at this point where we're walking?
I would imagine give it 2 arm spans.
Okay, so like 10-ish feet.
Yeah.
Are there any big rocks around?
I was going to ask about that.
There could be some biggish rocks around.
Can I try to push one into like the center?
Yes, with what goal?
Do you guys think it's better for me to try to roll it into its path, like into it, or just roll it into its path to like make it slow down?
I think into it. I was going to throw a rock at it.
Okay, so let me clarify what you're saying here. So do you want to try to interrupt its path by pushing a rock like more in the center? Or do you want to try to push a rock onto it to try to like trap it? Or do you want to throw a rock at its head to try to hurt it?
I think I'm trying to tumble a rock to hurt it.
Okay.
Or scare it. Like it doesn't have to be.
And maybe it'll decide that we're not worth it.
I am pushing a rock at it in an attempt to harm it, but if it slows it down, that counts as a win for me.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. Juliet, are you is your current plan something similar, or is there something else that you want to do?
I was going to pick up a smaller rock and throw it at the thing swimming.
Okay.
To try to hit it.
Got it. Fred and Estelle, anything different that you want to try?
Not that I can think of right now.
Well, let me maybe ask it to you this way. What are you doing in this moment? Because you have to do something.
Okay, I will help push the rock.
Oh,
okay.
That's exactly what I was going to do, too.
I mean, you guys can both help push the rock. That only gives me better rolls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It means you're pushing a bigger rock. Yeah.
Or giving me aspects so I get more bonuses.
Right, that's true. Okay, Fred, did you say you're doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so you need Fred and I to roll first?
Yeah, Fred and Estelle roll first, and then we'll see how we want to handle this.
Can I use physique?
Yeah, definitely.
+4.
+1.
Okay.
I'm not rolling particularly well today.
Hey, you broke out of the spell faster than Estelle and Autumn. Okay, so you guys kind of slosh your way up, and you find a somewhat largish rock kind of on the edge. And the three of you kind of get behind it and start, pushing against it, hoping that you can kind of time this to where when this thing surfaces, you can just push the rock really quickly on top of it, and hope that does something. I will say you get one aspect with a free invoke, Autumn, from Estelle to make that easier to do. And then Juliet, if you just want to roll a separate attack as you find some smooth river stones and start hucking them at this thing, that would also be cool.
I got a +1.
Okay.
I got a +7 with the free invoke.
Woo!
Okay.
So I just hold the rock and I just chuck a boulder on
Autumn shrugged.
So, Autumn, you kind of wait for the right second. The Fred and Estelle are also bracing against this rock. And right when you're about to get snapped by this thing, you shove yourself back and the rock rolls into this and pins it to the ground. Meanwhile, Juliet is just plunking it in the head with little pebbles, go away, go away, go away, go away. But it's clearly stuck and is fighting against this rock that has pinned it to the ground.
All right, time to get out of here.
Yep, way ahead of you. I scamper out of there.
All right, so y'all start scampering up. You hit a point where you can see the water pouring through what looks like wide grates in a rock. So it's basically a waterfall in the center of this cave. The cave continues past it, right? So there's a point where the cave is dry. And then there's a point where water is pouring down and it's flooding down into this underground lake. That is maybe like 10 feet above your head, that there's just water rushing down between these rocks, or the cave keeps going forward.
So above us is the way we came. Autumn, do you think you can hoist us up and get yourself up?
I can try to get up and drop a rope down
Okay.
and then hoist you guys up. How tall is the waterfall, Cody, that we'd have to...
You said 10 feet.
Yeah, like I said, like 10 feet.
Is it like a jump, or is it like down rocks?
So you would be standing in like waist deep water, and then there's your body, and then another like 6 feet, and then a waterfall pouring down.
It's not... Okay, so it's not like a rock wall.
No. This is like
It's
the
just
hole above.
No, yeah. So it's like in the center of the cave, the ceiling broke and water started pouring through and has eroded wider.
So I can like get down, and Estelle and Fred and I can like brace you and lift you.
Or I could I could brace one of you guys and try to lift you guys up.
No. I like what you started to say before you changed it and said, I could chuck one of you up.
Well, because I don't know how we can continue on in the cave, because I don't think Autumn has her supplies.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way she had her backpack on while she was
Right.
pulling.
Yeah.
And then she dove into the water. So I'm like, we can't see.
Yeah. So if one of us can like stand on your shoulders and climb out, they could go get a rope. But the thing is, like, you're the strongest one for like pulling us up.
I mean, Estelle's not weak by any stretch either, though.
Okay.
And neither is Fred.
And I'm Juliet.
Autumn is, like, very athletic, but, like, Fred and Estelle both have skills where they could do it.
Yeah.
And I think I can make more of an argument of, you know, doing a cheerleader, like, mount, you know, throw kind of thing, than I can being like, I jump off of you guys in chest deep water.
Okay. Go for it.
Who are you throwing?
Who would like to...
Be thrown.
I'll do it.
All right, let's go, Estelle.
Okay, wonder what went through my brain in that moment. So Fred's a crafter. He's relatively short, 5'8", kind of stocky. Nobody tosses a dwarf.
That means you're definitely the one that has to get tossed now. Okay, so the way that's going to work is Autumn, as perfunctory as the roll feels, you have to roll to make an aspect, and then Estelle will roll to climb out, basically.
Okay.
I rolled a 4.
That's it?
I rolled a -1.
I'm usually this would be like, I rolled 16. All right, so Estelle, you have the aspect of yeeted by Autumn.
Okay. What is that, a plus?
+2 to the whatever roll
Plus
for
2.
climbing.
+6.
All right, cool. So you manage to scurry your way up. It's like you get hoisted up there, and then you manage to find a hold, but you're climbing basically up while you're drowning, you know, because there's just water pouring in your face, and that's what you're having to kind of like find handholds in. You find, like, as you're reaching up, you find the pole that Juliet kind of lodged the boat in with, and you manage to grab that and hoist yourself up. So now you're on the boat, just kind of panting, out of breath, wet, bedraggled.
Okay, so I go over to either Autumn or Juliet's pack, whichever one is closest, and I pull out the rope that they have. I'm going to tie it off onto, I assume there's got to be a piece on the boat that it makes sense to tie. Oh,
sure. Yeah, it would have places to tie off ropes. Yeah.
As like an anchor. Yeah. So I'm going to tie it off. And then as soon as I've got that, I will toss it down, and I'm going to keep a hold on it to keep it steady.
All right. So the three of you see a rope lower, and I'll say we don't have to roll through climbing up this side of this. You manage to scurry your way up that rope and out back onto the boat. So you all find yourselves back on the surface, kind of panting and, you know, as I said, bedraggled from
Getting soaked.
from diving under the water. But yeah, back on the boat.
What was that all about?
I think we encountered a new animal. I'm going to call them rivets.
I think something was probably looking to eat.
Well, yes, I can see that, but why did you all jump in?
Do we realize we were hypnotized, or is it just like we like kind of like woke up groggily?
I would say you kind of realized what happened.
It like had like a hypnotic melody.
I heard it singing, I just didn't... Guess I'm immune to rivets. Can add that to my list of things that I can do.
Right under dexterous hands.
Or it could tell us that you just don't have a good appreciation for the arts. See, the rest of us, we heard the great music and we just had to go there. We just had to go see it.
Sure, Fred. Sure. I'm glad your art appreciation is safe.
I want Fred to add art appreciation as a skill now. That's a canonical level 5 skill of art appreciation.
Art appreciation.
He did make some pretty good art down with the.
That's true.
Yeah, that's actually really true. Yeah.
Yeah, you're making jokes, Cody. This will be relevant. You've made this skill already relevant. Maybe we should bring what's his face, Doc Marlin here. He was complaining about not having enough art to see anymore.
Sure, I'm sure they'll get along famously.
I don't think anyone has ever gotten along famously with that man.
Let's get out of here.
He's like Lance, but less competent.
Speaking of Lance, as we are moving our ship, our little boat.
Yeah.
Knocking on all the animals' doors. Who are you voting for in the next election?
Speaking of Lance, do you have any idea who he might have meant when at the end of the radio call, somebody came in and said she escaped?
I mean, everyone's been telling me to turn over a new leaf, so best case scenario, a mushroom person?
Okay.
I mean, if this really is, the end where all of these worlds get dragged, or all these towns get dragged in, it could be anyone.
Right. It could be anyone. It's highly unlikely it would be anybody we know. Right. Definitely.
Do you know what direction Maul was headed out last time?
No, she kind of goes all over. So, no.
Do you want to call Lance?
About what? Just be like, hey, are you hanging out with Maul? I can't imagine that would go well.
I can ask that question. I don't think his estimation of me would lower any. But I will say I am bad at determining if people are lying.
I don't think Lance is a liar.
That's fair. I wasn't making assumption. That sounded like I was making an assumption about him. This time I actually wasn't. I was just saying if he lied to me, I probably wouldn't know.
No, that's fair, but so far in all of our dealings with him, I don't think he's ever specifically lied about anything.
That is fair. He could have, lied with all the Coup Willow stuff, and he, it would have saved him a lot of trouble, and he didn't.
Yeah, I don't think it would hurt to just touch base if it's something you're concerned about.
I don't know. He clearly didn't want to talk about it.
Here, why don't I can call Willow and see if Maul's back at town first. And then if she's not, we can radio Lance and be like, hey, have you seen Maul? It's been a while. We're worried about the mushrooms.
Okay.
Hey, so I just want to say, this is one of those, for the sake of clarity and how this worked out, Caitlin, what you're talking about now in recording and what you talked to me about out of recording, when you brought that up, there was already an answer to that I had already known. I was glad that you told me because I'm glad for knowing that was a concern that you had, but the answers to that were not... you didn't inadvertently curse yourself, is what I'm saying.
I see, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Where you're like, well, what if the sky was falling? And I was like, what if the sky was falling? That was not one of these cases. Okay. I already knew what all of the answers to these things were.
It feels like something you would just be dropping. It feels like a hint that you are dropping, not...
This will become clear, in this episode or the next, but I just want to say...
I'm sure.
However you end up feeling about what happens, it was not because you brought it up. That was not what happened.
It was small.
Just...
It's small. Thank you, Cody, for confirming. So do I just get to leave all this in?
You can leave in whatever you want. I'm just saying, there are times when you guys bring stuff up, and you guys have cursed yourselves before, where you have literally summoned your own boogeymen, where I, don't have something, and you're like, but what if it's the gargoyle? And I'm like, gargoyle flies. There's a gargoyle! Oh, you were right! You guessed my gargoyle puzzle! It was a gargoyle! Well,
when have we cursed ourselves in Wanderlust? I have to know now.
I don't know, but it has happened more often than you would like it to have.
Okay. I did this time. I did think about like I didn't talk to you about it initially because I had that thought of like, what if I do curse myself? And then I talked to Mandy and she was like, you should talk to Cody about this. I'm like, okay, I'll be a good person. I'll be a good player.
Yeah. No, this is not an instance of you cursing yourself. All right, so back into it. You guys were talking.
We're gonna call Willow.
Oh, you were gonna call Willow. Yes, that's right.
I can call Willow and check to see if she's seen Maul, and if she hasn't, we can check in with Lance. Would that make you feel better? That way we're not assuming he did something wrong.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to assume that.
It's okay to be worried about the person who kidnapped and tortured your girlfriend once before, maybe having a
It's just the likelihood of it happening twice seems... That's illogical, right? I'm not being logical right now. We don't have to do this.
What are the chances of stumbling into a different world?
Oh, I don't know. Doc Marlin probably does that math, not me.
But it seems unlikely, right, to stumble into one other world, right?
Yeah.
Maul stumbled into 7?
Yeah, but she was, wandering around the place, like, the hallway with all the doors, so to speak.
Yeah, and she's now wandering in the wilderness where we know there is an installation of people who are willing to do what they have to survive, including kidnapping people who come from the wilderness.
Okay, call Willow. I'm going to be up thinking about this.
I think you already have been?
I mean, I would be if I had had a chance to sleep yet. I just haven't. So no, I haven't. It hasn't kept me awake. I've already been awake for entirely normal reasons.
I call Willow. Boop, 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 ba-doop, boop.
Yes, I mean, look, I'm happy that you called, but it's almost needy, all right? You haven't even been gone a day yet.
I mean, in my defense, I talked with someone who may or may not be, they call themselves the DM, and said I could have found out more information had I talked to you more last arc.
Pew, 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 pew.
No, this is actually not me being needy. This is Juliet wanted to know if Maul made it into town. Made it back to town.
Got it. It's Juliet being needy. Okay. No, Maul is not back in town.
Okay, cool. How are you? How's your day?
I'm good. Well, so the Spiralics. We keep losing them sometimes. Like there are things attacking the herd, but I think that's sort of so I have to balance multiple things because I have to balance the health of our town, but I also have to balance the mental health of our town. And I think for Mitchell, it is good that he has wild animals to fend off because I think that's giving him something to do. So that's a plus.
That's fun. Hope there aren't too many predators attacking town. Like a normal amount, right?
That's sort of more Matthew's thing, and he seems to always have been bitten by something, so yeah, I think there are still some, yeah.
Think he needs better, shoulder pads?
You tell him that next time you see him, that he needs better shoulder pads.
Not literal shoulder pads, you know what I mean.
No, I do, but I also think that it's sort of like a... What's the right way to put it? He has to kind of do the whole charisma leader thing. So I think the fact that he doesn't wear armor is meant to be, it's like a...
Couldn't Fred do something though that looks cool though, you know what I mean? Lance's people didn't look cowardly in their stuff, you know what I mean?
No, look, again, not my, do you want to talk to Matthew? I can get him, maybe.
I don't really have a need to. I don't want him dead. I don't want him hurt.
I don't think he's gonna die. I just think that if he looks like he's been bitten up, it's good for morale,
Weird thing to say, but okay.
It's not weird. It is really good for morale. I don't know what to tell you.
I just think it'd be better for morale if we weren't being eaten,
It's not good for morale to slowly die of an infection.
Was that Juliet?
That's Juliet.
We have been raiding your supplies for treating wounds for a long time.
Well, yes, I mean, they're for the town. I just don't want to run out of them because Matthew can't wear gloves.
He wears gloves. He just doesn't always wear a shirt.
Well, anyway, I should probably call Lance and see if he's seen Maul before, Juliet has a heart attack.
I'm fine. What are you talking about? I'm fine.
She sounds fine, Autumn. I don't know why you're worried about this. She said she's fine in that tone of voice, so you're good.
So, like, me taking care of your radio equipment, you realize that I am in a room with a door, and that door is shut, and Juliet's not in here with me.
Is she yelling that loud?
Yes! Anyway, I'm gonna call Lance. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, he didn't answer last time I tried, so,
if he doesn't answer, he doesn't answer. Like, there's only, like, I can't make him pick up the walkie-talkie.
True. Alright, well, if you need anything else, let me know. Oh, you haven't done anything dangerous, by the way, right? Like, you're good.
No, I have done something dangerous, but yes, I'm good. I'm on the boat again.
We'll talk later.
I can call you later tonight and tell you about it if you want.
Call me later tonight. We'll talk about something.
They're called rivets. And then I hang up. Okay, I try to hail Lance.
So I'll say that I don't really know how that would work on a radio. Do you just talk?
I think you just... I don't know radios, but walkie-talkies, you have to be, like, on the right frequency, and then you can call.
Yeah, and I understand that, because, I mean, it is a radio, so you would have to be on the right frequency, but... So I'll just say, like, you're just, like, talking, you know, like, hey, anyone reading me, anyone reading me? It goes on for a while, and then you just hear...
What?
Hey, Lance, quick question. We were a little worried about Maul. Have you seen her lately because of all the mushroom stuff?
I am not her babysitter.
That is not what I asked.
Okay.
Okay, I know that we're not really great friends, and I have been pretty terrible to you exclusively.
Oh my gosh, okay, yeah, sure. Yes, you haven't caused active harm to me or my people. We're fine. What do you need? I don't know where Maul is.
You haven't seen her anywhere recently?
I said I don't know where Maul is. I am not her babysitter.
So, no recently?
I will talk to you later.
And the radio goes dead.
Those were some very careful words. He was not answering the question that she asked.
You're right. Those are very specific.
Okay, so I walk out. Okay, so everybody, I know that I'm trying to be better and not assume the worst about Lance. He's kidnapped Maul.
Okay, quick question. Did we all hear that conversation?
Either you did or it could be relayed to you, you know. I don't think unless there's a part of that specifically Zach wants to keep secret, you can all have known that.
No, I had Juliet piping in from a distance for the comedic value of her not being okay. Not for, like, Autumn trying to be secretive in any meaningful capacity.
I mean, I know what I heard. You asked him one question, he answered a different question and wouldn't answer the question you asked. That's very suspicious, I guess.
And we're pretty sure his town's pretty close to up the river, right? Between your vision, Fred, and the map.
Oh, I don't remember the details.
By a river and a lake.
You guys have a really solid... There were like 2 places on the map based on Fred's vision where it could have been. One of them is either very close, the other one is across the world. So either they are very close or on the opposite side of the world for you guys.
Yeah, it's like in a wetland on a river and near a lake.
Yeah.
Other thing is that they're probably pretty militaristic if anything from Fred's vision is true, which I assume it is. Sorry, I don't know why I phrased it like that. Zach is tired. Whoever that is. With Fred's vision, he said he saw some, like, military operations, so we should maybe approach this carefully, because they are probably stronger, more aggressive, and more paranoid than us.
I mean, we kind of knew that already, right?
Yeah, I'm laying this out. Like, this is how we plan. Usually we list the problems, and then we come up with great solutions. These are the problems. Stronger, more aggressive, more paranoid. Can and will experiment on people.
Also hotter. Much hotter than you guys.
Not possible.
Excuse you.
It's a village of 10s.
They're a 10, but they would cut off your arm to stop bark growing on it.
There's a possibility that they could be by a lake. Just throwing this out there. Could that be referring to, like, the underground lake thing that we were just dealing with?
Did you see sky in your vision, Fred, when you saw the lake?
Did I see sky in my vision?
Okay, what I will say here is based on the description that I gave to Fred, the two places that it could be on the map are like basically so it's either just a little bit north of where you are now basically, or it could be way far to the north, like east. But no, it was an above ground lake.
And were you talking about the lake we just saw, Mandy, or?
Yeah, I was talking about the underground situation we were just dealing with.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
So it was a normal above ground lake, but it could be close given what the map says here, depending on the scale and everything. Are we breaking in on a hunch because Lance didn't answer a question? Like, it's really suspicious, but if we get found out, I think we're in a world of trouble and then we can't stop the mushrooms.
Okay, well, hypothetically, based off of this, we might literally go by Lance's town on the way up, on the way north. Like, literally, we could pass it at some point soon.
Yes. I assume we'll be able to see it, yes.
Did I mention to you guys that Willow thinks Lance needs help?
How so?
She doesn't know, but he seems like, to her, he's been acting weird, and she has a better finger on that pulse than I do, or probably any of us, because she actively works with him. But she also said he's not the type of person to ever ask for help or admit weakness.
Okay.
So if we're stopping by to help him out...
Okay, so here's a suggestion. What if two of us, when we get close to the town, approach, hey, we have been in contact with Lance, and the person back in our town lost contact with him. We are on our way to try to fix something else, but noticed your town. We're checking in. I don't know. We could come up with something better than that. This is just throwing it out there. And then if something bad happens, we can do the break-in part of that plan.
All right.
I think we should definitely tell... I'm saying Willow because she's the person I radio, but we should tell Smoky Banks, wherever the location of this town is, regardless. Just so they can't be like, well, we have to kill you to keep this a secret, right? Or keep you contained to keep this a secret.
Well, and let's be real here. We do have something to inform them about, which is this mushroom thing we're about to go deal with.
Unless they've already been contacted, because if they're as far as us, they've probably been hit by the mushrooms already.
Well, then even better, because we have a lead on...
That's true. We could apply fungicide.
Yeah, we have a lead on taking care of it.
What if they joined the funguses?
And ate them?
No, if they ate the mushroom.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, what if they did that?
Then we book it out of there if they start offering it?
Well, I mean, like, are they gonna kill us? Last time you guys interacted with it, you blew up a sizable chunk of land to get rid of it and escape?
It was not my best moment. I know.
I mean, it was pretty cool. I assume I didn't get to see it. I wasn't invited, and I'm going to be honest, I'm a little upset that you guys went on a cool adventure.
Autumn, my entire body is a bruise.
It was the middle of the night.
You got to see a guy who could change out skulls.
It wasn't as magical as you are thinking.
Was it creepy?
Very much so, yes.
That's what I was thinking. I'm sorry. Not the time.
Yeah, also, I'm pretty upset. It was downright magical.
Oh, Caitlin knows that. Caitlin knows that. Juliet was trying not to sell this as a positive.
No, it was a positive. It was really cool. I don't need you over here nagging my DMing. But anyways.
I'm sorry. Not the point. I'm just worried with what you guys did. It will not be like, here, try again.
Okay, so, well, one, you just talked to Lance. I didn't specifically hear anything that sounded like he had partaken in it. I don't know if they act as a collective or how this all works, but he seemed like Lance from that conversation.
Yeah, I'm just worried that it might be I think we should be wary. Like, I don't want to...
I'm not saying we walk in there as if everyone's just going to accept that we have literally walked into their town and are unassuming. But based on everything that we know and how they, specifically Lance, seem to approach things, I think they're probably... I don't think they're going to do anything without, like, testing things first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just worried. In this story Mitchell gave me, there was an entity that masked itself as this, like, black goo parasite, infiltrated a council of planets, and then got voted in being like, hey, we're peaceable, we're fine, and then turns out it was super evil, tried to destroy everything.
This is another fictitious book?
It is, yes, but I'm worried that the mushroom, like, they'd eat the mushroom, and then the mushroom would take control and be like, hey, everybody, I'm normal, I'm fine, we're cool, eat the mushroom, it'll be a good time. And then everybody eats the mushroom, and then the mushrooms win.
Well, I suppose we'll find out, because the thing that we saw had physical abnormalities, shall we say.
I'm just worried. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just worried and spiraling a little bit.
No idea what that's like.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, like, I'm worried about who's right. Because you guys said the Forest Phantom has said no one has survived. So I'm like, should we talk with the fungus more?
What? No.
The Forest Phantom has said every civilization that has come here has died.
I will say, as a point of correction, that is not what the Forest Phantom said. The Forest Phantom said that she has seen many civilizations come here and crumble. Not all of them.
I take my thing back. I really thought you said all. So.
No, but it is a fair point to say she said a lot. She didn't, like, is there a difference if 500 of them came here and 450 of them fell apart and died? Your point isn't exactly wrong, but there is a minutia to which it is that I do want to be clear about. She didn't say that Smokey Banks is necessarily cursed. She did say that Smokey Banks is in mortal danger because of being here.
I'm just worried with all of these threats, that we are in mortal danger, and...
What else is new?
I mean, yeah, but also, like, I don't want to be another one that fails.
Well, we'll be cautious. We'll, keep an eye out when we meet people from town. I think it's a good idea to have people on the outside, people on the inside, and we'll take our fungicide with us.
I also don't know if the mushrooms are necessarily going to be, like, just because they're opposing the Forest Phantom doesn't mean that their way, or the way that they're handling their civilization not dying is the way to handle that either. Like, I don't necessarily want Smokey Banks to be a part of a collective.
Yeah, I'm not saying I fully agree with them either. I'm just saying...
You're dubious?
I'm dubious of everybody. It seems like there's no good options. And if there are no good options, I don't want us to just die by not making a choice.
We find a third way.
Well, and what I will say is, even though I don't necessarily trust the Phantom, she at least said that if we get to the heart of the forest at some point, we could figure out how to potentially navigate through to other places, which to me says we might be able to find a way back to Novathea. And that's more than the fungus has told me so far.
That's fair. But don't worry, I'm not going to eat a mushroom, for sure. Like,
okay, good.
It's not going to be an impulsive thing I do. I don't want you to have to be worried. I'm just saying I'm worried about everything all the time lately. And I know we all are, but I don't want you guys to... I don't want this to come out in an emotionally compromising scene when we're about to be offered a mushroom or something weird.
Got it. Well, I guess let's keep going and see if we find Lance's town.
We push onward.
All right, so... Okay, so you guys continue on boating. Can everyone make me navigation checks? Again, same way you did before.
+6.
Wow.
+2 for Estelle.
I use wayfinding, and I have a +5.
+1.
So, again, this is much faster than it would have been walking. You guys make great time as you move your way up the river. And as you do, you can kind of start to see a change kind of beginning. Like, if you look far off down the river, like the occasional times when there's maybe like or even like Fred, when you look way far ahead, you can see kind of like an area of this wetland where there's like a lot of dead trees really far off, like the color of the forest changes. Even here, all of you are starting to see more fungus than you did before. There just are more mushrooms around noticeably. It isn't necessarily in a bad way yet. There aren't like a ton of dead trees where you are right now, but it's getting noticeable. As you start moving your way up, there's also just less animal life than there was before. It is like a subtle but noticeable change that is getting worse as the day wears on. So like at this point now, it's getting to be night. And when you make it around like kind of one final bend of the river, which, you know, Zach, for your benefit, not necessarily something you have to look at. You guys are around here at the second little pink X, or red, I guess, whatever. You can see in the distance, as it gets to be dark, that there is a area of unnatural light, which is to say you can see the light coming from a settlement. You can't see the settlement itself, but, you know, you're a short walk away from it at this point, like maybe a mile on land to get to something that is producing a great deal of light. By the time you're at that settlement, the presence of mushrooms is more pronounced, and you are starting to see some like dead trees, less undergrowth, dead undergrowth that's like recently fallen. Even at this point, maybe animals that seem to be like sickly. You're noticing changes in the forest by the time you've gotten to this point.
Can we coat the railings and like ways to get onto our boat with the fungicide?
Yes.
So like basically any easy egress they have. And probably, like, some on top, like, if they could just, like, drop down or something, you know?
Yeah.
I think, Autumn goes a little manic with it. Whereas, like, it's like, fairies can't cross iron, fungus can't cross baking powder, just starts wiping it on, like, every door frame.
Okay, so you guys, like, coat
Baking soda.
baking soda your raft as much as possible, trying to make a boundary. Are you still on the river? I will say at this point, all of you are very tired as well. Like, you are basically asleep standing.
I think we stay on we anchor on the river. I don't think we go to town tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys going to keep watch?
We absolutely should.
Okay.
And I don't think we're having a fire either.
I mean, okay, I'm just gonna say, if there are people, if they have any kind of god at all, they're gonna notice us, whether we have a fire or not.
I think they'd send someone out here I don't know. Well, how can we see their town? No, we can't see their town yet, Cody.
We can see the glow.
You cannot see the walls of a town. You can see the glow of a settlement that's probably a mile away. And that's through forest, too, right? That's not like a straight shot across the field.
I don't know if they can see us yet, though, because we're far enough out.
To me, it doesn't matter. There's, again, I think it's more about, like, patrols.
They have a lot higher tech than we do.
Yeah, but just because they're patrolling or they have higher tech doesn't mean I want to send out a signal flare that we're here. If we light a fire, they will be here tonight. Guaranteed.
It's 50-50.
If we don't light a fire, they might not come tonight. I'm not saying it's guaranteed they won't come, but if we do light a fire, they will be here as soon as we light that fire.
Okay, so let's have 3 of us go below decks and sleep down there, and 1 person keep watch and rotate.
I think that's a good idea. I'll take the first watch. I've got Guffy, and he can keep me awake.
Well, I was going to call Willow if you didn't want to do that, and she could keep me awake.
You guys are all gonna have to keep watch, so, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll take the first watch with Guffy, since we're all so tired. That way, at least there's, technically a second set of eyes that can kind of help her stay awake.
Okay. Is there anything you want to do during your watch? Any curiosities you have? Things you want to, look at, think about? Person you want to talk to? Anything like that?
I think she makes notes on the animals we dealt with earlier.
Oh, okay, cool. I like that.
Tries to, remember everything about them, and that kind of helps her mind keep awake because it's having to work.
Yeah. I would say probably what you realize is that they are, this is an intentional thing. Like, you were lured into a trap. This is clearly the way that they hunt. This area has, it had less wildlife than what would have been typical other places because things realized that animals would get pulled down into there and then lured off,
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, interesting. I think the only other thing maybe that you realize is like that lake being the size that it was maybe implies a larger system of underground tunnels than you would have expected that potentially are flooded, which is just like an interesting thing of like, oh, like there might be more of that in this area or in this land than I realized.
Like a whole ecosystem down there.
Yeah. Like this didn't seem isolated. You just found one entrance to a larger like subterranean Lando lakes,
We've only been gone like a day, right?
Yes, this is your first day.
You know what? I have 4 fate points. I'm going to spend a fate point to just reach out to Matthew.
Oh, okay. So I can't remember. If you spend a fate point, that's like you can kind of get a feeling, but you can't exactly talk to him, right?
Correct. There's all nonverbal, just feeling-related communications.
You get the feeling of someone doing like a base jump.
Doing a what?
So like base jumping.
I don't know what that is.
Jumping off of tall things.
Yeah.
It feels like he's jumping.
Okay, so
let
me. That's a bad way to put it. What I mean is, you get like a joyous adrenaline rush.
Okay.
Like and you get this being the impression he is having fun doing something stupid and dangerous.
Yeah. No, that really, I wasn't expecting anything like horrendous to be happening, but like I would rather know if that's what he's feeling. But since that's all he's feeling, yeah, she's just like, okay.
All right. So the rest of your watch goes by pretty, fine. Not much else happens. It's actually very kind of eerily quiet, I would say. But yeah, a quarter of the way through the night, who do you wake up next?
I think I'll go ahead and wake up Autumn since I don't want her to have to call Willow in like the witching hour time of the night.
Okay.
Would be a little mean. I want to call Willow.
Okay.
That's my curiosity, and to help me stay awake.
Boop, 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 boop.
Willow, are you awake, Willow?
There's like a pause, like a while, and then you just hear,
Yep, I was awake the whole time, definitely.
You sound like you were supposed to be awake, so I don't think I have to feel bad.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I was reading a book, and then
What book were you reading? Was it one of mine?
No, it was an important official book about leadership, and yeah, it was one of your books. Yeah, I was reading one of your books.
Do you like it?
It was fun. It's a fun book. It's a fun book to read. I will say, in hindsight, I wish that we had more books, because then we'd have more books, but...
To be fair, I think by us teleporting here, every book that I had is now considered a classic.
I've read some of these, I don't... You know what? I'm gonna give this one to you. I'm gonna give at least this one total classic. Absolutely.
I majored in Novathean. There are a lot of classics that are actual garbage. So, I get where you're like, this is a bad book. Also, mainly it's people wrote things a really long time ago and we didn't get rid of them.
Does that kind of mean that you're given, the chance to now invent what you consider to be a classic? You kind of get to be, the genesis of a new culture where you get to pick what matters.
Only with literature, and also Mitchell has a lot of things. He's, outlined a plan of what he considers classics to me already.
No, that makes sense. I think that much power, though, might go to your head because you basically get to dictate our culture, and I think that amount of power would probably be corrupting for you.
Says the person literally in charge of our survival and culture.
It was meant to be an irony, yes. That was... I was being ironic. I will admit, I was dabbling in irony.
It's a good look on you, but most things are.
I mean, now look. I am very good at making radios, but I don't think you can see me right now.
I can't, but I can imagine.
Although I am wearing my very sexiest clothes I've been wearing all day and then fell asleep in. It's a really hot look. I'm considering modeling it. I think it's going to become all the rage.
I'm going to level with you. I've had to get into that look because it's the only look you've had since I came back from underground.
I'm hanging up on you. There's like a sound of her like clicking something on her desk.
Now I just can't tell you of all the ways that you complete me and make me want to come back.
I'm sorry, you've reached an automated message for Willow. I don't know who this is, but probably you're saying something to try to get back in someone's good graces, and it's not working.
It's not working because I never left her good graces.
You hear Willow chuckle.
So, tell me about rivets? Rivets? Are they big frogs? Rivets?
No, they're river ferrets. Rivets.
Oh, okay. It does work.
Right? Like, I thought it was a pretty good name.
Somewhere in the distance, you just hear Fred, like, kind of sleep talking. I won't.
And you kind of pass the rest of your watch, chatting with her about rivets and the adventures that you've had thus far.
I do want to let her know, like, I want to make note of, like, I tell her where the town we see is.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yes.
Like, specifically, I want to make sure that is covered.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
And I tell her about, like, we don't know where Maul is and that Lance was cagey.
Oh, when you say that, she goes,
look, I appreciate
this is I know that I've come off strong against him before. This was not me like trying to be mean, but I asked some questions and then he answered different ones and everyone else also kind of agreed it was weird. Like I was really trying not to be like just terrible and assume he kidnapped Maul.
No, I understand that. What I mean is that Lance's situation is more complicated than Lance is kind of a short-tempered, rude person, which he sort of is. So I just mean be careful and be aware of you're not just walking into Lance's living room where he gets to be in charge of everything. There is its own community there, and he has his own people that he's responsible for, and it is a complicated situation.
We are being cautious, and I will not do anything rash because they scare me. As I told people earlier, they are stronger than us, more aggressive, and more paranoid, and that doesn't seem like a great combination to be walking into.
Yep, I guess don't walk into it, Approach it carefully and intelligently.
I will do my best and follow Estelle and Juliet's lead. Mostly Estelle's right now. I think Juliet's having a little bit of issues. Not that I don't trust her, but I think if she finds out Maul's being experimented on again, I think she might burn the whole place down. So I'm going to follow Estelle's lead.
That is all I ask.
Okay, so who are you waking up next?
I'll wake up Fred because I want Juliet to get as much sleep as she can.
You assume she's not just tossing and turning all night.
I think I poke my head in and see if she's awake, and she's not. Or is she awake? Is she just awake tossing and turning?
She could be asleep now.
It's whatever you want.
That's up to Juliet, I will say.
Yeah, if you want to be awake.
No, it's okay.
I peek in, Juliet's asleep.
She's
Fred.
finally fallen asleep.
So you go wake up Fred?
I wake up Fred.
So as Fred, kind of, as you wake him up, he's like, I won't. It's my turn.
Your turn. All quiet on the northern front so far.
All right. Well, hopefully it stays that way.
All right, Fred, you go up on deck and you're looking out. Is there anything you want to do or make note of, be interested in while you are up there?
I mean, not particularly.
Anything you want to craft in 2 hours?
I thought about that, but that's a lot of noise that might wake everyone else up or might alert to our presence. So no, he won't do that. I did think about that though.
Anything you want to polish?
You know what Fred's gonna do? Fred's gonna go borrow one of Autumn's books and start reading it.
Love it.
So you kind of get lost in the pages of some drama about, something. I don't know, about, what is it?
Rosa Riviera.
Oh, I was going to make some joke trying to figure out a way to reference our first D&D game. But anyways, yes, Rosie Riviera and that time she went on an adventure. So yeah, your portion of the night passes basically still, like I said to Estelle, eerily quiet, weirdly quiet. And there's just that faint glow kind of, on the edge of the horizon. Yeah, so then your quarter of the night ends, and yeah, only one person left.
Yeah, Fred will go and wake up Juliet.
All right, Juliet, you are up on deck. Is there anything that you specifically want to be doing?
I would like to see if the mushrooms are changing overnight.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Make me a notice check, because you're kind of far away from them,
Yeah, because they're like on the bank, and we're like...
Yeah.
It's a 5.
Oh, okay, cool.
Pretty dang good.
So, let me think about that. I'll say that I don't have an answer that was predetermined to this question, but now it's an interesting one that I kind of like. I am going to say yes, in that clearly they prefer the dark. So you get the sense that these are not a largely photosynthesizing mushroom, which I don't know that mushrooms do photosynthesis.
I don't think they do.
I don't believe they do. And in fact, these ones seem to enjoy growing in shade, especially the smaller ones. So there's maybe areas where the fruit is there's more fruiting mushrooms, right? Like more mushrooms are sprouting out is where there is shade and damp, which makes sense. But you can see areas where there's direct sunlight. It's taking longer for them to spread, sort of.
Okay.
You can see a slowing in that.
It's spreading along the lines of shadow or shadiness. Okay.
Yeah. Or that it just kind of thins where you can tell that there's a lot of direct sunlight. If there's a clearing in the wood, you could see that the mushrooms have thinned there. And also that they do seem to expand, like they're trying to drop spores at night, maybe. And that's almost something that you could watch them doing is popping open, occasionally as they hit a point where it's dark enough and they've reached a right moisture content that these things pop open. And as you're staring at the bank, looking at that, you feel the really distinct feeling of something metal pressing into your ribs. And then you hear a voice whisper in your ear, "As many times as you've been out here, you would have thought that you would have learned how to keep watch, Juliet." And then you feel a brush of lips on your cheek.
Mull!
Thanks for listening to this episode of Wanderlust. Music for this show is credited down below. If you like this campaign, you can find more of our shows at the Wandering Gamer website or on Podbean. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links in the description. Now bear in mind, in the wilds, some wander to get lost, and some wander to find themselves.